Kamen Rider. Kiva.
Welcome to day 1 of Rider Belt Week, starting it off big with the much requested Kiva belt. Though, you'll notice something is missing right now. Don't worry, Kivat will be here, but for now, we want to go through the procedures, details first. You people know this by now. And I wanted to point out all the details you got to see when he wasn't attached. As you can see, big red plastic belt with a ton of little molded detailing. Coming in closer, you can see a lot of little different molded textures in there. I don't know what the weird magical symbol in the middle is. I'm sure Toei gave it a name. They're kind of nuts about that. Even this bar at the top has a specific name. It's kind of strange. Now, you will notice only one side comes undone, so it's a Type 2 belt. However, this strap on the other side does fold completely flat against the back, which makes it still easy to store away when necessary. You can also see little tumblers of chains here in the middle. Literally tons of detail. Now, in the show, a lot of this is trimmed and painted very nicely to give it a regal look. Here, no. Absolutely bare plastic. Now I'll take you on the back where you can see the chain detailing has also been molded in, which is I thought was very cool. Now we've got the I never knew exactly how you pronounce these, the glass whistle things. We'll get to those in a bit. But for now, with a little bit of the detailing out of the way, we need to get to the star. Enough of the belt strap, we want to see the bat, and here he is, Kivat III in all of his glory. Look at that. Man, look at that Bandai gold. I love Bandai gold paint. And Kivat here is covered in roughly about 2.5 gallons of the stuff. Looking very awesome in doing so. A lot of the silver, too, trimming out a lot of his lines. And the little tiny fangs. A little bit in the ear, a little bit on the top of the wing. Looking very cool. Even a little bit of green right there at the top, just to kind of break it up a little bit. Looking very excellent. Now, as you can see, he does have some extra molding to him, a little bit of extra texture along the lines, and within the wings and ears, a little bit of that, kind of broken up look, just to give it the impression of stained glass, the motif of the Fangire from this series. One of the details that actually kind of creeps me out is the molding in his eyes. I mean, they're segmented like a Kamen Rider's would be, but it all goes into kind of a circular pattern, kind of like a dartboard, giving him little tiny pupils and a very hypnotic stare, which is very appropriate for a bat. I will give him that. Now, you can see there is some extra function to him. The button here at the top will actually open his mouth, so you can actually puppet Kivat if you would really want to. But the one thing that does get to me is how far back his legs sit. This is for the belt connection, of course, so he hangs off the bar we saw, but he doesn't stand up with it. That's kind of unfortunate. I love that the belt represents a character from the show for a change. That is a really unique trait for this belt. However, it doesn't really help when he doesn't have any way of standing up on his own. But enough of that. Let's turn him on. Immediately spouting Japanese and immediately flashing his multicolored eyes, which will occasionally glow to remind you he has been turned on. Now to get Kivat here ready, we need to close up the wings on the side and open his mouth completely. Now what he's looking for here is for someone to press those silver fangs in the front. And while any press will actually get the henshin started, it is looking for something to bite specifically, so let's give it what it wants. Very hypnotic, kind of annoying once you have it too long. Lock it in to the bar on top, let it drop in place. And a nice red glow to the eyes, which my lights are obstructing. But that is your henshin. It is a very nice one, very cool and accurate to the show. Quite dig it. Now, from here, the only thing we can really do is turn him off and take him off the belt. Unless we apply the fuses. I guess this is where we get to talk about some of them now, isn't it? I'll start with this one. This is the one for his rider kick, the Darkness Moon Break. And you can see that emblem on the top, vaguely Kiva styling to it. Kind of hard to describe, really. I don't know, I was going to describe it as a bat, but it doesn't quite look it. I don't know, it looks like some weird Space Age version of Batman. Mouth opens the same way. No bite this time. Locking it in place, you slide it in from the top, and these two little clasps on the side will slot it in. Drop it down.
Wake up!
So, no big explosion sound effect. All you really heard was the chains coming undone. And, honestly, what is a really disappointing wake up. It doesn't have the same enthusiasm Kivat has on the show, which I really think comes from the fact that this was probably recorded a good 2 or 3 months before he recorded his dialogue for the show. So, you're listening to his first attempt at that voice. And doesn't come off quite as energetic. But that's a minor downside to it, though. We can lock that back in, as you can see. They are molded in to snap in and stay solid in there. I think next we need to go over here. Now, I'll abbreviate these, just for the sake of brevity, but I will show you these as I use each one. Here we have Garuru molded in the shape of a wolf's head, complete with the fangs down the side, and a very nice metallic blue on the top. Man, that's shrill. We have Basha with his merman motif in glittery green. Lots of little details in this one. And the Doga hammer, complete with Frankenstein's buzz-cut hairdo and a very stern face to match. Also, some kind of, I don't know, knuckle molding on the top. On the other side, we have Castle Duran with a dragon head sticking out of the castle wall and nice paint job on the top with a couple of little buildings on the top of the castle. And the one they use so much in the show, the Buran Booster, with a very strange little Easter Island head sticking out the top. Now, as a standalone toy, that's all you get. However, what you are looking at here is the beginnings of the collectible gimmick motif. See, they actually did try to sell individual Fusels, and it wasn't exactly a big hit. I'm pretty sure you can still find even the earliest ones on eBay right now. More importantly, though, that means that Fusels from other toys can work with it too and draw out new sound effects. So, let's see, which ones can we play with? Oh, hang on. Let's try Powered Ixa. How about the Ixa Knuckle? And finally, Ixa Caliber. Oh, took offense to that one. Now we can continue here. There's also the one that came with the Ixa Riser weapon. It's actually surprising. Huh. It's actually a decent, unique sound effect. How about the one from Tatsalot that I reviewed 800 million years ago? Tiny one, this one. Okay, one of these Fusels has ripped the other one off, but I'm not quite sure which one. I should also state, just for completeness, that the other Fusels that come with the Ixa belt are the exact same mold as these three, so they would produce the exact same noise inside the Kivat belt. I should also tell you that if you have any of the Arms Monster weapons, you can also power them up by letting Kivat bite those, and it will produce a unique sound effect. However, I don't have any of those, so it's a little tricky and cheating to demonstrate it. Ah, why not? Let's cheat. Funny thing is, to trick those noises out, all you have to do is press the fangs after you've used one of the weapon fusils. It's a little cheap. Now that's his main function with the belt, but there is more you can do with him. For instance, remember the puppeting before? Well, of course that just makes him say bite, but doing it 3 times in a row, and he starts spouting hidden phrases. You will notice that every now and then it will change from bite, bite, bite sound effect, and it will actually change pattern to have different noises when you press it down and result in different combinations. They're the same noise clips recycled over and over, but it does give them a little bit of uniqueness. However, something really unique about Kivat is that he can wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Now, I didn't do anything different. It's the exact same on switch, but when you press it, you have a 50-50 shot of him being in a good mood or a bad mood, and depending on that, his mood completely changes the sound effects that you get when you play with him. And this bad mood isn't just with the hidden sound effect clips. It also changes how he sounds when you use the fusils. In that sense, I love the variety, and I love that it makes him a little bit more realistic. It is very lifelike to be able to be in a good mood or a bad mood. However, it does get a little bit frustrating when it's the same button. You could have yourself turning this guy on and off 6, 7, 8 times just before you get the mood you want. In particular, mine seems to favor being in a bad mood, so it takes a little while, especially when you have a review to film. With that, we're about at the limit of what this belt can do. It's a little bit more limited than the belts you get these days, but it's actually still a really solid toy. If you can pick it up for its original retail, which is somewhere around $65, I don't think you're going to go wrong here. It is a fun belt. I do love that it represents a major character from the show, as well as being a cool henshin toy. And there is some nice variety in both the moods he can wake up in and the fusils you get. And I do love having these things on the side. I don't know what it is. I just like belts that have extra accessories on the side. It feels like they're more substantial. It feels like there's more going on. Of course there is, but, you know, you get my point. All in all, a very solid belt. Though if you are weighing which one to get between this one and Ixa, I will honestly tell you right now, you're probably better off with Ixa. It makes a better standalone toy. We'll get to that belt someday, but it won't be this week, because this week is all about Kamen Rider belts, and we have just begun. 6 more to come. Stay tuned. There is a lot more henshining and a lot more belts that have nothing to do with holding my pants up coming.